A U.S. warship gets attacked in the Red Sea along with multiple other ships here today. And this makes you wonder, will the U.S. go to war to defend itself? As the U.S. has been attacked over 75 times here just in the past less than 2 months, and have been attacked over 150 times in the Middle East here. And it really makes you wonder, when is enough enough? And this is all from Iranian backed allies in the Middle East. This most recent attack here from the Houthi rebels, an Iranian backed ally, U.S. warship, and multiple commercial vessels reportedly attacked in the Red Sea. Attacks could mark significant escalation in the region. The USS Carney had to shoot down potentially multiple drones and to respond to a ballistic missile attack on a commercial vessel in the region, as the Houthis are growing more bold as they continue to attack, and the US military continues to get attacked in the region pretty much every single day. Yeah, you can see here the USS Carney shot down 2 Houthi drones headed in the ship's direction in the southern Red Sea on Sunday. This is, the U.S. military's warship, and in the southern Red Sea on Sunday, and responded to a distress call from a civilian commercial vessel that was fired upon by a ballistic missile, the U.S. defense official said. The USS Carney, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer deployed as part of the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group, quote, destroyed one Houthi drone while in the southern Red Sea. At the same time, the official said the Carney observed, quote, at least one ballistic missile fired at a civilian commercial vessel, the MV Unity Explorer, which landed in the vessel's vicinity. The Carney responded to the Unity Explorer's distress call, and while assisting, shot down another Houthi drone that was headed in the direction of both ships. A U.S. official said the other commercial vessels were also, quote, attacked by Houthi missiles today, though it's unclear how many or which vessels specifically. The U.S. official added that at least 2 circumstances the Carney successfully shot down UAVs headed in its direction as well. Now get this, the Houthi-run Yemeni army claimed on Sunday that its naval forces had carried out attacks against what it called 2 Israeli ships in the Red Sea Strait. So they're admitting that they did these attacks. And it begs the question here, with now U.S. warships being attacked, drones and missiles being shot in its direction and having to be shot down, and U.S. military bases in the Middle East have been attacked at least 75 times here, just basically in the last 45 days or so. When is enough enough? The U.S. has attacked back here, what is it, about 3 times here, mostly with symbolic attacks. They have not really done much damage back. When is enough enough? Now, if the US starts to do more damaging attacks, you're going to have some PR issues, because look at when Israel has attacked back on Hamas, look at the PR nightmare that Israel's having. Now, of course, the US doesn't have to invade back, but you got to have a little bit of that to be careful with, because again, even though the US has been attacked over 75 times just in the last 45 days, and it's 150 plus times overall just in the last several months, a lot of these countries look at the US as the bad guys from their point of views. And a lot of them don't even realize or don't even see the news that the US is being attacked so many times. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. But we can't keep putting up with this. We have to send a message, just like Ronald Reagan did many, many years ago when he destroyed a significant part of Iran's fleet, saying we're just not going to continue to put up with this. This actually comes as the NATO leader issues a dire warning about a dangerous Putin victory in Ukraine. NATO General Secretary Jens Stoltenberg recently said that victories for Russian President Vladimir Putin in Ukraine would be dangerous for NATO and Western countries. US is obviously part of NATO, as the Russian-Ukraine war continues. Putin has launched this war. We're getting almost to the 2-year point here, only a few months away, claiming to seek denazification of Ukraine. I don't know how many people believe that. Remember that Ukrainian President Zelensky is Jewish, and his ancestors were in the Holocaust. You can let me know your thoughts on that. Of Eastern European countries' governments and hoping for a quick victory. That didn't happen. Nearly 2 years later, Ukraine's stronger than anticipated defense effort has blocked Russia's advances. In an interview clip with Germany's ARD broadcast channel that was posted to X by formerly Twitter, Stoltenberg said, quote, "We have to be prepared for bad news as well. Wars are phased, but we have to stand with Ukraine in both good times and bad. The one thing we do know is that the more we support Ukraine, the faster this war will end. But we must realize that a victory for Putin would be a tragedy for Ukraine, but it would also be dangerous for us. It is in our own interest to make everything possible for Ukraine to win." The Ukrainians have been able to inflict heavy losses on Russian forces by attacking with missiles deep behind the front lines, destroying airplanes, helicopters, and pushing the Russian Black Sea Fleet into the eastern Black Sea. That means they will now be able to keep the sea lanes open for ships carrying grain from Ukraine through the Black Sea. Coincidentally here, Putin is actually urging Russian women to now have 8 or more children amid soaring deaths in Ukraine. Yeah, that's right. Putin is now urging women to have as many as 8 or more children after so many Russians died in his war in Ukraine. Now, of course, it'll take 18 years or so until they're 18 years of age, of which Russia actually mandates 18-year-old men to go into the draft, into the military in Russia, where it's mandatory you serve in the Russian army. And where Russia has seen a mass amount of people leaving the country because they don't want to serve in the draft. They don't want to go to war. And Russia has already seen 300,000 or more Russian men die in this war. So now Russia's basically saying, or Putin's basically saying, that they want to have their women have 8 or more children so that they can go into the Russian meat grinder. Yeah. Wow, what a thing here. What a country to live in, right? Also, Russia is trying to boost its size of its army by 15% to 1.32 million people, and he's ordered the country's military to increase its troop by 170,000 as they're almost getting close to 2 years into this war. And they said this was in response to the continued expansion of NATO. And the increase would be implemented in stages through a recruitment drive, which they're continually having to increase the pay to try to get people to go there. Putin ordered an immediate partial mobilization of Russian citizens following a string of defeats that caused recriminations in Moscow. The mobilizations meant citizens who were military reservists could be called up, and those with military experience were subject to conscription, aka drafts. The mobilization led to angry demonstrations, particularly in Russia, Russia's ethnic minority regions and prompted hundreds of thousands to flee the country. It was suspended in November of that year after officials said the target of recruitment of 300,000 personnel had been met. But Russia's casualty numbers remain shrouded in secrecy. And this is one of Russia's biggest problems. They're killing them as fast as they can draft them. And this is why Putin says to the women, please have 8 or more children, because they plan on having wars for the next 18 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. So this gives you a glimpse into what Russia plans to do for the next foreseeable future. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on that you need to know about. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click here to see the new mystery pneumonia that is spreading from China and is now here in the US. The latest update on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.